So 9 months into this pandemic, we are all tired. Although it has been a challenging year, as we work to slow the spread of COVID-19 and keep people safe, there is hope on the horizon. As we mark the winter solstice today, it's important to remember that we are not out of the woods yet. Howard County currently has 24.7 cases per 100,000 residents and a positivity rate of 5.3%. The virus has taken the lives of 180 of our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones. And those are among the more than 300,000 American deaths to date. We must always remember that these are not just numbers, they are people who are loved and will be remembered. These grim milestones should serve as a reminder that this winter, without continued vigilance and focus, could be the worst part of the pandemic. We recognize that there is COVID-19 fatigue, as the reminders to wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands are becoming background noise to many. We see the need for clear information when it comes to vaccination. And we know that some people need more supplies like new masks and soap to just stay safe. We need to communicate clearly and ensure that our residents understand the increased risks during this spike in cases and have access to the tools to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. Today I'm announcing the launch of our new StayCOVIDSafe campaign. This campaign was designed to elevate effective communications and individual compliance to help combat rising case numbers and presents a long-term communication strategy for Howard County to stay COVID safe. The campaign includes $200,000 in CARES Act funding toward communication throughout the winter months when most of us will be indoors more. Creation of the StayCOVIDSafe Alliance with county stakeholders and entities like our libraries, hospital, community association, faith community, businesses, nonprofits, and more. Distribution of supplies like masks and hand sanitizer. Circulation of vital information to our community about resources including access to food, child care, and mental health support. A launch pad for the successful communication, rollout, and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, and an updated website that connects residents and businesses to the information they need on COVID-19 testing and vaccines, food and other assistance, current restrictions, business grants, and more. Residents and businesses can visit our updated site, staycovidsafe.howardcountymd.gov. Again, that's staycovidsafe.howardcountymd.gov to see our updated COVID-19 data dashboard. And that dashboard conveys some important metrics we monitor daily, including case rates, positivity rates, testing volumes, and hospitalizations. We'll work together with our alliance to ensure that flyers, banners, and signs are displayed prominently throughout the county, and COVID tips and reminders are available. Some of our partners include Communities Active in Disaster, also known as the COAD, a new initiative that we launched in 2019, shortly after I took office, and formalized last December. The COAD has quickly grown into one of our most vital resources for our residents in need this year. Little did we know how quickly the co-ed would have to activate just 3 months later. Kathleen Koch, who is here today, has courageously led this initiative, organizing calls with county stakeholders, coordinating collection and distribution of resources, and consistently looking out for her community. Under her leadership, the co-ed has grown to 66 organization members and helped feed more than 23,000 individuals here in Howard County. We'd like to recognize Kathleen today for her incredible work with our inaugural Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year Award. Thank you, Kathleen, for all that you do, day in and day out, for Howard County. And now, I would like to invite Kathleen up to accept her award. Thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful surprise. Thank you so much, Dr. Ball, for those kind words. I'm just so very honored. Disasters and crises like the pandemic that we're still in, unfortunately, they help us really, they open our eyes. They help us really see our strengths and our weaknesses as individuals, as organizations, and as communities. And I'll tell you that over the last year, I have seen such kindness, generosity, and sheer determination not to let this pandemic cripple our county. A year ago, as Dr. Ball mentioned, the co-ed was brand new. We were 12, 15 people sitting around a table brainstorming on how we could help if there was another emergency in Howard County. And now we're 66 organizations strong. 66. And every time this year that we faced a challenge, that there was a roadblock, that we thought, well, how are we going to help keep our restaurants afloat and provide food for the hungry? And then what about residents who can't afford masks? Each time someone said, we'll do that. I can take that over. I can handle that. Like someone you're going to hear about next, Leela Malin. She took over our mask project in April of this year. And at the time, we had maybe a dozen volunteers. And we'd made about 400 masks and distributed them around the county. Well, Leela came in and she turned that into a machine. 100 plus volunteers have made 12,600 cloth masks. And Leila has distributed them around the county. And I will tell you, I don't think there is a square inch of this county that Leila hasn't traveled. She's driven more than 2,500 miles in this county, taking supplies to the mask makers and then picking up the finished masks and then distributing them all around the county to people who needed them. Thank goodness she drives a hybrid. But she did all this also while her own dad was hospitalized twice with COVID. So every time we've had a need, someone has stepped up to the plate. Whether it was, making masks, providing free food, free tutoring, webinars online to educate our students, getting families out from behind their devices and outside to work in the community garden and help grow fresh food, or teaching students how to maintain our rivers and streams, or collecting bikes and coats for kids, distributing backpacks. And as Dr. Ball said, we collaborated throughout with the county. We worked with the school system many, many times, with the health department, with the library, even with animal control when they wanted to find a way to reach people who needed pet food that they couldn't afford anymore. And so they joined in with our pop-up pantries. But I appreciate this award. This is so wonderful, but this isn't just for me. This is really for the entire co-ed, because I didn't do any of this alone. And I couldn't have managed without my amazing leadership team, my vice chair, Nancy McAllister, our secretary, Debbie Rivera, and our Office of Emergency Management liaison, Katie Kennedy, who got the ball rolling. We would not be here if it weren't for her, and she was with us every step of the way. So I hope I haven't gone on too long, but thank you all. Thank you so very much. I'm honored to chair this incredible network of organizations, and we still have a lot of work to do because we're just at the beginning of the end of this pandemic. So let's get back to work. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Kathleen, and thank you so much for your dedication and your commitment and being an example and an inspiration of not only what we have done, but frankly, what we can do. As Kathleen mentioned, I'm also excited to present a certificate of recognition to Leela Malin, who is our very own mask making project manager right here for the COAD. Leela has coordinated the distribution of more than 21,600 masks, including 12,600 homemade cloth masks, sewn by a network of 7 organizations and more than 100 volunteer mask makers. Leela herself has volunteered more than 1,300 hours of her time for the cause. For so many people who don't have the means or resources to properly protect themselves, Leela has been there to lend a helping hand. As the single most important tool we have to protect ourselves and others against COVID-19, it's not an understatement to say that through Leela's work, we've saved lives. Thank you, Leela, and please join me for your certificate.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ball, and all of the folks in the Office of Emergency Management. Thank you for the recognition you're giving to the efforts of so many volunteers in Howard County during these COVID times. I represent and aim to support the many mask makers, packers, distributors in the county like Adrian, Ami, Bill, Rachel, Wendy, Denise, Diane, Beverly, Gopi, Jim, Jenny, Marie, Martha, Lucy, Marilyn, and Joyce. I can't name everyone, unfortunately, plus all of the organizations, governmental, non-governmental businesses, restaurants, various folks that we've worked with to get these out. Along with hundreds of their fellow citizens, they've toiled at helping their neighbors with the best intentions of contributing to others. They do this work in conditions where both the giver and the receiver are unknown. These folks have worked by themselves to help their neighbors, often spending their own money and on occasion needing to take time off because of the toll on their hands or in the early times when they ran out of supplies. Thank you for recognizing them and supporting their efforts via the Office of Emergency Management.
Howard County's community organizations active in disaster, also known as the COAD, provides opportunities for community members to get involved to make the community more resilient and prepared for threats of all kinds. And this has especially been true in 2020. This year, the COAD immediately assisted with COVID-19 efforts to support our community and provide necessary resources. Throughout this year, the COAD distributed almost 200,000 pounds of food at dozens of remote pop-up pantries to help feed over 23,000 Howard County residents. They assisted with home grocery deliveries around the county for vulnerable populations and supported the Howard County Public School System by helping prepare school supplies for returning students and providing clothing distribution sites and more. The COAD completed all of these efforts under the leadership of their chair, Kathleen Koch. Kathleen has earned the 2020 Howard County Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year Award due to her unwavering support of COVID-19 response and recovery efforts in Howard County. Kathleen has served nearly 850 volunteer hours since March of 2020. She has led the Howard County COAD and put forth various projects which have proven to be incredibly successful within the county. In addition to her leadership, Kathleen has devoted her time in the community serving at over 50 of the county's pop-up pantries, hosted in coordination with the Howard County Food Bank and residential communities in Howard County. I would like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for Kathleen and all of her work this year. I would also like to recognize Leila Malin for her support and involvement with the Howard County COAD. Leila's efforts helped decrease the spread of COVID-19 in Howard County and provided life-saving measures for many who otherwise would not have had access. These have undoubtedly helped to flatten the curve and reduce case rates in Howard County, ultimately saving lives. During the last several months, both Kathleen and Leila served compassionately, without hesitation. Howard County is lucky to have two such exemplary residents. I echo County Executive Ball's gratitude and thank you both for your work keeping Howard County safe. As the County Executive previously mentioned, the COAD is one of our partner organizations in the StayCOVIDSafe campaign. This campaign is a collaborative effort between multiple county departments and community groups to effectively communicate with the public the ongoing risk of COVID-19. Our goal is to remind our community of the necessary steps to protect themselves and their loved ones from COVID-19. We recognize that COVID fatigue is real and challenging, and we hope that these efforts and resources promote a safe community throughout the winter months. The Office of Emergency Management is leading the efforts to distribute StayCOVIDSafe materials around the county. We have worked with the county's Office of Public Information to order essential resources to get our message out to the community. And these materials include 1,000 yard signs, 5,000 magnets, 5,000 tote bags, hand sanitizer, and 20,000 masks. OEM began to distribute StayCOVIDSafe yard signs around the county early last week. We focused our first round of distribution on county buildings and shopping centers, including 50 stores and 200 small businesses in the Columbia, Ellicott City, and Savage Mill areas. This is just the beginning of our distribution plan. We are working with local community groups and stakeholders involved in the StayCOVIDSafe campaign, including the COAD, Visit Howard County, the Columbia Association, Howard County Chamber, the Ellicott City Partnership, the Mall in Columbia, village shopping centers, testing sites, the Howard County General Hospital, and the Howard County General Hospital to more effectively distribute our materials over the next few months. We are also working with our community partners, including the Office of Public Information, Health Department, Department of Recreation and Parks, Community Resources and Services, and other county government departments to identify appropriate small events that could benefit from these resources and materials. Our goal is to empower our community members by providing them with these necessary resources, like masks and hand sanitizer, while also providing materials like the yard signs and magnets to encourage our StayCOVIDSafe messaging around the county. OEM plans to distribute materials through March and to continue to work with local stakeholders and community groups to keep Howard County safe and healthy.
Good morning. The Health Department is pleased to be a contributor to the StayCOVIDSafe campaign. We understand that providing clear, concise, and accurate messages about the actions we can take to slow the spread of the virus is key as we patiently await the arrival and distribution of vaccine. The StayCOVIDSafe campaign provides a fresh look to the messaging we already know, but is at the center of keeping our community safe. The approval of vaccine is a wonderful holiday gift that we will slowly be able to celebrate. However, wearing a mask, maintaining social distancing, washing your hands, and not gathering in groups outside of your household remain the most important things we can do to prevent further spread of the virus. We thank everyone who's made masks and everyone who's putting signs and helping all of us keep us safe. Thank you.